Hello and welcome to the January 2017 issue of the Landlord Advocate video newsletter. I'm Robert Chesson. Brief topic today, and that is the issue of deceased tenants. There are two different scenarios that you need to be concerned with when you have a tenant who has passed away. One is where there are joint tenants, and the other is where the person who's passed was the sole occupant of the premises. Biggest question that often comes up is who's paying the rent when someone passes away? In the circumstance where you have joint tenants, the question generally is pretty easy. The remaining occupants, the remaining leaseholders, are responsible for paying the entire rent. Assuming your lease is set up where the joint tenants have equal responsibility for the full rent to begin with, the fact that someone's passed away doesn't change the fact that whoever remains is still obligated to pay the full rent. This situation may very well create other business challenges and perhaps other public relationship sort of challenges, but the legal question of who pays the rent is usually set forth in your lease and should be very clear. The situation becomes a lot more complicated when the person who's passed was the only person who was occupying the premises. When you find yourself in this situation, you're going to face issues associated with the estate of the deceased. You're going to face issues associated with access to the unit to obtain wills, to remove belongings, and a variety of other issues. Some of the things you'll need to do to handle this situation may be spelled out in your lease, but oftentimes they are not. And while there is a statute in Connecticut that tells you how to deal with deceased tenants, it isn't necessarily always applicable, nor is it very favorable in terms of you gaining access and regaining possession of the unit so that you could relet it if that's your intent. We highly recommend that if you find yourself in this situation, reach out to your landlord attorney and discuss what your various options are and the things you can and can't do associated with a sole occupant who has passed away, leaving their apartment vacant and the rent unpaid. Hope you've enjoyed this quick January 2017 edition of the Landlord Law Firm's Landlord Advocate video newsletter. We look forward to seeing you next month. Take care.